How you guys and girls doing today? Simpson918 here, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. I'm bringing back a series I used to have called Escape to Improvement, where we sit here and we analyze good gameplay, bad gameplay, and everything in between, and determine what we could have did right, what we did wrong, and so many other things. In this video, we're going to be analyzing two situations. One, which is the most embarrassing situation I've ever had in Escape from Tarkov, and it's a solo raid, and I messed up, made a lot of mistakes, did some things right, but ultimately it was horrible. And then the other situation actually turned out in my favor. We did a lot of good things and bad things in that scenario, but we'll go over that as well. Without further ado, let's get right into it. And like I always say, please make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you enjoy this content. What I'm going to do is I'll just play the most entertaining parts of the raid, and I'll just skip around all the boring parts because the whole thing lasts like 7 to 8 minutes, and then we'll just go back and review it. Didn't there spawn over here? It's too quiet. Damn it. Did not kill that motherfucker, bro. He was kind of running like a scav though, but I can't really tell. I thought that was a player, but I couldn't really tell. Did I just cancel it by accident? Oh my God. He can't peek this. Oh no! Okay, so let's talk about this situation step by step, because man, did I mess up in this raid. Like I said, I cut out a lot of it because it was just a lot of me going back and forth and messing up. But immediately I decide, okay, I'm going to run because I want to get into cover as fast as possible. I'm checking the corners and everything. That's all good. And then I remember that there's going to be a spawn inside as well as a spawn to the far right. So I decide, okay, you know what? After doing some little bit of back and forth and trying to make a decision as to where I'm going to go, I say, okay, you know what? Let me go into the garage since this is the safest route, and I don't want to put myself out in the front because that would be bad. Now, this is the first major mistake that I make right here. Going down this hallway, number one, being this early into the wipe, because this was like, you know, 2 weeks ago, something like that. I know for a fact that if this person's wearing any helmet at all, that I'm not going to pin right here. And as you can see, one thing that I was happy about was the fact that I was aiming head height, because I have a bad habit of not even aiming head height a lot of the time, but I was aiming head height. But whatever helmet he had, either I didn't hit it or it just didn't pin. And on top of that, using a submachine gun that doesn't even have a scope on it, or an assault rifle in this situation doesn't even have a scope on it, puts me at a major disadvantage, because like I said, I'm just hoping and praying I'm going to get the headshot, and now they know exactly where I am, so I have to reposition, and now I just can't run down this hallway. One of the major issues that I saw right there, and I think back to myself, was, wow, if I hadn't even shot at that guy, who knows when he would have looked. Maybe he would have looked down the hallway and seen me, but he was laser focused on whatever was going on in the front. I could have gotten way closer and I could have closed the gap faster had I not shot, or just been more aggressive from the very beginning and closed that gap. But as you can see, now I'm thinking, oh no, now I've got to reposition. This is where we get into the second part of the fight. Now, once again, right here, I'm already putting myself in a very bad situation, and I'm thinking about it in the back of my head. But once I get into rage, just I guess dumb boomer brain, you know, I'm thinking if I don't make a move really fast, I'm just going to get shot in the back, because people are going to start pushing and they're going to and eventually collapse on me. So I'm thinking I need to hurry up and make a move. But as you can see, I'm staying outside for way too long. At any of these moments, I could have gotten sniped. On top of that, I did not see this guy at all until he shot at me. And even when he shot at me, it still took me some time to figure out exactly where he was. I had tuned my settings, so now they're better, so I can see a lot better. But once again, like I said, I'm getting shot in the leg. I'm exposing myself out in the open. This is when I hear somebody else coming from behind. I'm just like, oh shit, like now someone else is going to come third party this as expected. This is the hot spot of the map. And now I put myself in an even worse situation because now I haven't made a decision and collapsed in on these people or made a move. So you would think, oh, okay, well, you're going to make a smarter decision and either reposition and go back to the garage or just make some kind of move. But no, I don't do that at all. I end up getting absolutely destroyed by that guy that I just was aiming in at and someone else that was behind me shooting. So I had two people shooting at me at once. The only thing I could say about this specific situation right here that I did correctly is I was able to pop a painkiller and then stop that light bleed, because I know that the person inside or on the outside isn't going to push me here, even though they hear me coughing and healing, because they're thinking if they push me, I could have a teammate who's holding me and then just using them as bait, and then they're going to get killed, or they don't want to have to cross that threshold. So I use that time to heal, knowing that no one's going to get super aggressive and push me. And this is also when the third party starts taking place, when that guy in the front starts fighting the dude that was in the building. So I'm like, okay, you know what, now I really need to fall back and use this opportunity. This third party guy just saved me. Let me hurry up and start healing up my body because I'm messed up real bad. And as y'all could even see, I should have died to that scav right there, but as y'all could even see, I even fucked up on the CMS because I canceled it for some reason. So this is when we get to the third part of the fight, and this is when things go from bad to worse. Once again, this guy all the way down at the hallway is not going to fall for that same trick twice, and he sees me coming down the hallway once again, immediately black both my arms out. Now I'm in one of the worst positions possible. The only thing going for me right here, even though I should have stopped this heavy bleed because I had this going for way too long, I started coughing again, is that there's also somebody in the front that they have to focus on. So that's why these people to the left haven't killed me yet. One right here, left that heavy bleed going for way too long, started coughing, only healing up because I know that that guy in the front can't push in, because if he does, he's just going to get killed by the people to the left. But then this is when I completely get sandwiched, and this is why I say that taking some kind of action in a raid is way better than taking no action at all, because then you're going to end up getting pinched, sandwiched, and not learning that much from it. And as y'all can see from the rest of the video that I played out earlier, I popped that painkiller and I just do some stupid stuff. Like, let's go ahead and go ahead a little bit. So I jiggle peek this corner. I don't even know where the teammate that was shooting me down the hallway first is, but I decide that I'm going to swing it without any information. He's right behind that column right there. You can barely see his head. He should have killed me here, but he did not. He shot me once. I heard people coming up from behind me, and I'm like, oh, now I'm definitely cooked, because now I've got two teams who are coming up behind me. So my bad, y'all. I don't know. I think the render messes up when I press play and stuff. So I go up the steps. Once again, horrible move. Don't know why I did that, because I thought to myself, let me just expose myself out in the open so I can get headshot. Go up the steps, and I start popping shots at this guy behind the column. I hit him a couple of times, but it's not enough to kill him. Then the guy in the front starts to mess me up, and then that's when I see this guy behind me, and I'm like, oh yeah, now I'm cooked. I put myself in the worst spot imaginable. Honestly, it would have been better for me to just stay in the garage, heal up, and wait for this other team to collapse in on these people, and then try to take the fourth or the fifth party. But as y'all can see, I'm just sitting here. I've got a bleed. Everything's gone. His teammate finally decides to come in. I'm pretty sure they killed the guy behind the column, and then they eventually sandwiched me and killed me. So the biggest lesson to learn from this is whenever you get into a fight, you need to be making some kind of move, taking some kind of action. One of the biggest things I learned from a lot of people who are way better at the game is that they say that it's good to take any kind of action and learn from that action or learn from that mistake, than to just sit there in a corner and let everyone else make moves, and then you just become the person in the middle who's just going to end up getting killed and getting sandwiched, or the person who's just not controlling the fight. You want to make sure that you're always controlling the fight. Grenades. I didn't even bring in grenades. One of the things that I mentioned at the very beginning of this raid was, wow, I didn't bring any grenades. Grenades in and of itself will change up that entire scenario, and I won't go into grenades too deep, but just throwing a grenade down that hallway instead of shooting at that guy would have forced him either behind that metal wall right there, or it would have at least allowed me to push up, because they would have been too afraid to peek with a grenade, you know, being thrown at them, and I could have taking space and then taking the 1v2 or the 1v1 there. But like I said, man, main issue is just lack of action and putting myself out in the open for way too long. All right, so now we're going to talk about a raid that went pretty well on customs. I didn't have my camera on for this one, so we're able to just talk about it just like this. But we head on over to Crack House, or medical building as some people call it, and we're looking for Salewas and just looking for some quest items, you know, looking filing cabinets and all that stuff. And we end up getting into a fight there, and once again, I'll skip all the boring parts. I'll let it play out for the most part, and then we'll go back and talk about it. He killed 3 people, bro. Whoa.
Yep, he's in the room. He's in the room.
Okay.
Second floor.
Okay.
Getting a grenade ready.
Yep. Oh my God.
Run. Trying again.
Okay.
It went in.
Nice.
He's on the window.
Yep.
Nice.
But there's 2. I gotta get to his body. This door is open, bro. That's the problem. All right, so we have quite a few things to discuss. Number one, as you can see, I forgot to take this front damn sight off of the ADAR and add a new gas block to it. So I'm sitting here using a scav gun, something even worse than a scav gun. And what ends up happening in this situation is that we find that there's somebody inside. My friend almost kills us with a grenade. That's typical. It's classic Dr. Doom 805 right there. And then I hear some person come up behind me, and I don't like this, but I'm happy that I didn't die to him. It's like I almost forgot that he existed, even though I heard him 3 seconds ago behind the wall. And then this is when the guy is smart inside of Crack House. He uses one of the windows where the intelligence spawns at. He peeks and kills my friend. And I'm not gonna lie, man, this right here is the biggest mistake that I made. I skipped all of this because it was like a good 2 or 3 minutes of me just waiting here for him to get up to the top. But I end up running out of my painkillers. I popped that morphine right there, and then the guy who was actually behind started coming through the hole in the wall, but he was creeping. The thing that saved me here was the guy that came through the hole in the wall after I'm exchanging shots to this guy and not killing him because I can't see anything. He runs inside and we exchange a few more shots. And then when I run back out here and I peek to the right again, we start exchanging bullets again. But luckily, the guy who was crept through the hole in the wall next to RUAF roadblock starts messing this guy up real bad, and he has to run away and goes to the corner over here on the other side of the wall, which gives me the entire inside. One thing I messed up on as well, and we'll talk about that later, is when I had a heavy bleed and didn't think I had anything to fix it. But after being in the house for a few minutes and seeing how the fight was going to play outside, the guy who had the M1A eventually got impatient and came on the inside. And the only thing that I did right here was I used some kind of off angle, and I shouldn't have even peeked on the left. I should have had a right hand peek somewhere, but I just threw him off guard because I ran a little bit and then just swung out to the left, and it was able to have, it was enough to take him off guard and get the kill. Now, like I said, right here, I'm panicking, not even thinking, and I have a grizzly inside of my gamma container that I'm not using. And this entire time while I had this heavy bleed, I'm thinking, oh wow, I can't stop this heavy bleed, I'm gonna die. And that's when you hear me say I have to get to his body. So in this fight, I'd say the things that went right was just the fact that the dude was getting shot outside by someone else who came through the hole in the wall, and using that off angle and swinging out wide to the left actually turned out in my favor. Like, once again, like I said, I got lucky. It should have been a right hand peek. He definitely could have killed me if his shots were a little bit higher, but we were able to secure the kill because I actually waited this time and used patience in my favor. Unlike the previous situation where I was too impatient, I was actually able to analyze the situation, and that's when the guy came in and I was able to get the kill. But that is it for this video, guys. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think. If you like these analyzations, let me know your thoughts. Say in the comments, wow, you're the best player I've ever seen, or wow, you're absolute ass. I like comments either way. And fun fact about this raid, even though I was coughing heavily and I should have died, I somehow was managed to make it to the what's it called, I was able to make it to the damn transit, and I was able to, let's just say, get out correctly. But anyway, like I said, y'all, let me know what y'all think of these kind of videos. If you enjoy them, I will catch you all in the next one. Simpson 918 out of here.
I saw it clear.